Hello, everybody. This is Deborah from ADebsLife. Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in. I hope you all had a wonderful 4th of July. I was fortunate enough to be able to go to my brother's camp that is on a lake up in Maine, and we had a wonderful time. The temperatures here were scorching hot, so we spent the majority of time in the water, so it was nice to be up there by the lake. The thing I want to talk to you about today is relationship longevity. I often say that I come from a family of happily ever afters, and I say this because I have 3 brothers. One brother has been married for 42 years, one for 44 years, and the other one just celebrated their 46-year anniversary. My parents were married for almost 57 years before my mother passed, and my grandparents, I believe, were married around 58 years before my grandfather passed. That's a lot of years together, and there's a lot of history there. And there's something to be said about having history with somebody. As I've mentioned in my previous posts, I've just gotten on a dating site, and it became really real to me this week that I'm never going to have what they have. And by that I mean I'm never going to have the history with somebody. The best I can hope for at this point, I'm 64 years old. If I am lucky enough to live to 90 and am healthy, and I meet somebody that lives as long with me, that's going to give me 26, 25 years at best. That's assuming I meet somebody this year and we spend this next chapter of our lives together. So if I'm lucky, I might get 25 years with somebody, which would be wonderful. And honestly, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for my happily ever after. But this weekend I had a chance to really witness one of my brothers and his wife and their relationship, and I'm very envious. I watched them and just how everything just kind of flowed, and one did one thing and the other one did, and they go kind of anticipate each other's actions and statements and what they each wanted from each other. They have a beautiful family, and they've grown up together. Let's see, this particular sister-in-law I met when I was 17. She was 16. And that meant my brother was 18 at the time. And they got married in their 20s, I think. So they've been together those are the ones that'll be celebrating their 44 years. I'm very fortunate that I have 3 sister-in-laws. One I've known since I was 9 years old. One since, like I said, the one just 17, and one I've known since I was 21 years old. So they're more like sisters and best friends. So I'm really fortunate to have them in my life. But when you're looking at a partner for your life, the nice thing is that these couples have all grown old together. So their age spots are coming together. The little wrinkles under the chin and the eyes and the lips. They don't notice that stuff because they've been together for so long, and it's happening to both of them at the same time. And as women, we get, and men too, but we get this crepey skin. And mine's getting a little better. In another post, I'll share what I'm doing for my crepey skin. But I guess I get nervous because as I look at dating somebody that I don't have the body of a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old and really not even of my 50-year-old self anymore. And I guess that scares me sometimes, that when you go to look at a new relationship and you got to take each other with your bumps and your bruises and your scars and your wrinkles and gray hair and everything else that comes along with it. And when you've been with somebody and have a history with somebody, you got your gray hairs together, and you were probably with each other when the scars came, and when you made that scar, and the didn't even notice the age spots on the hands, and there's just something to be said for that. I really, truly am very envious of that kind of relationship, and I know I'll never have that many years. Hopefully, I'll have at least 20 years with somebody. That would be very nice. So if you have somebody in your life and you've been with them a long time and maybe you're going through some hiccups right now, work it out. Communication is so key. you have to talk to each other. You have to work together on things. You got to understand that you got two different people and two different types of personalities, and you're not always going to agree on everything. One of my brothers said to me once, I can't think of anything worth fighting with my wife about. And that's pretty cool. It's just not worth fighting over, and you just try to make it work. And they've gone through their times, but they all worked it out together. And here they are at the other end of their lives, this last chapter of our lives, and they have each other to celebrate it with. And when they're sitting in the rocking chair, they can talk about this and that and what they did, and some history together. And I think that's pretty cool. And if you have that, fight for it and keep it, because it's something that can't be replaced. And that goes the same for friendships. I've been fortunate enough to have one friend for 36 years, another one for 29, and others for almost 20 years. And I have some new friends too, and they're wonderful. And I'm not trying to say that new friendships aren't great, and you can't build great relationships with people new, because you certainly can. But to have the history with somebody, I don't know, personally I think it's fabulous. Communication is key, so talk it out. And I wish that for you. I hope you find that. And if you have that, keep it. Thanks again for listening. Have a wonderful week. And I'll catch up with you next week. Bye-bye.